Today we saw the return of taiko come back to Hirakimata from Peru. They flew over 10,000 nautical miles to be here with us, and it's our privilege to welcome them and the many supporters, collaborators and whānau of taiko to our sacred mountain Hirakimata.
Soar above the land, O taiko. Soar out to sea, O taiko. You shall return to Hauturu and Aotea to nest again at Hirakimata, Mount Hobson, and give birth to the world once again, O taiko. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Well, we are absolutely invested in working with our stakeholders and other supporters to grow our taiko. We're very concerned the taiko is very vulnerable, and we know that to turn back the tide and see taiko thriving and filling the skies and seas, we have to work together and to make that vision a reality.
One thing that you learn as mana whenua is relationships has to be the pathway. Relationships create a pathway to truly be a kaitiaki. The other pathway on that is about building relationships on how can we have one vision moving forward. It's not worth creating a dozen different ones when you're all thinking of going the same way.
We've established a collaborative group with all of the agencies and interest groups who are keen to see taiko or black petrels thrive.
So this is one of our black petrels here. He's a male waiting for his partner to come back so they can lay their egg and raise their chick this season. So there are 2,500 breeding pairs left, so this makes every single one of these birds really important. So the main threats of these birds now are land-based predators. Unfortunately there's still rats, cats and feral pigs on Great Barrier, but also the at-sea threats. So commercial and recreational fishing. You know, when the taiko come home, they're very hungry, they're here to raise chicks, and of course so they're trying to hunt for fish and squid as well, and so they interact with the fishing boats.
So in this first year, the 3 fishing companies that are involved in our group have made a real push to get all of their skippers through our Seabird Smart training program and to get seabird risk management plans on board their vessels. So that's been really fantastic.
So it just sort of fits with the Lee Fisheries ethos, really, the way we do things. Sustainability is a huge part of our business, and we have fishers and links to iwi in this specific area, particularly the Hauraki Gulf, and so it's just part of what we do.
I just think it's the opportunity to generate ideas across a broad, diverse group and ultimately come up with the best solutions to ensure these birds have the best chance of survival, really.
I think really the key thing that we've done is through the Southern Seabirds Solutions Trust is utilise the Seabird Smart training that they offer and ensure that all of our skippers that fish in the area where the black petrel is have undertaken that training. They now understand why it's really important to use those things and why it's important not to catch the birds.
Well, it's really important actually. It's an opportunity to actually get to know people personally. When you get to sit around the table, you can build trust, and once you build trust you can actually work much more effectively. If you're actually working with fishermen, you're helping them come up with the methods that they need to actually put the mitigation in place.
We are required to publish a State of the Environment report every 3 years, and in 2011 what we found is that we were losing these iconic species of the Gulf. The taiko was one of them, our Brutus whales, and now if you fast forward 5 years, we're seeing these wonderful projects where fishing companies have realised that they're part of the solution. They're taking responsibility for the way they fish, getting engaged in the research and doing all the right things on their boats.
Working with the fishing industry collaboratively is critical to protecting taiko. While New Zealand fishers only have part of an influence on the situation because these birds fly over to South America, it's a really important part. Working with them, linking them up with the people here on Aotearoa, Great Barrier Island, where the birds nest, closing that loop, making sure everyone's involved is fantastic, and I think that's the best thing that we could do. Stopping catching birds, that's the way to give them the best chance of survival.
Not catching them as bycatch is becoming more and more prevalent in the fishing and the commercial fishing industry. Recreational fishing, perhaps we've got a bit of work to do there. That's going to happen in the next few years. Also on land, of course, when they come in to breed, threats like cats discovering a burrow. We had one just last year, unfortunately, that I was watching most of the season that was quite close to one of our tracks here that ended up being predated on by a cat in the last week when it was about to fledge. So it's kind of gut-wrenching when you do see that. You know that's something that can be stopped, and DOC do a lot of cat trapping in this area. It's just you will get a cat that'll manage to get through at times. So cats are definitely an issue. Yeah.
Everyone can make a difference by ensuring that they don't attract birds around the boat, that they sink their bait really quickly, keep all bait and used bait and offal on board. So just very simple practices will keep our taiko safe.